Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight. Woo, there I go. Y'all, I have my video off. But thank you for joining us tonight. I am so happy that you're here tonight for day three of our 12 days of books and businesses. And I sang so well the other night. Someone said, you should sing again. No, they didn't really say that, but I'll try it. On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me two ladies that are on fire. Y'all, they are here tonight. And when I tell you, I am so excited. We started in the chat. I think Saturday night after the last event, we started talking in the chat. And y'all, we have tonight none other than Queen Cole. She's going to talk to us tonight. She has a new book, and her chapter is titled Ring of Fire. She's going to tell us what that is all about, because it's not what you probably think it's about, because I had to find it out for myself. And also, we have our special guest, LaToya Nicole. We told her that name goes together. We have to say LaToya Nicole together. I am so excited. But as you all know, we've been embarking on this 12 days of books and businesses, where different authors can come on and discuss their latest books. We get to talk to them. They give us feedback on different topics. And not only authors, but we have small business owners. Many of you know that there's a supply chain issue, and a lot of products are being held up and not really being sent out the way that they usually are around this time. But this is your opportunity, small business owners, to really get your products out there, because someone could be looking for what you have to offer, whether it's a product or a service. And this is, no better time than the holiday season than to sit down and just really enjoy a good book, order some candles. I still need to get my candles from Bath and Body Works. I have a lot of coupons, y'all. I'm trying not to spend all of my money. But y'all, this is the time to really get caught up on your reading and so forth, because holiday season, this is a great time to relax. I know I am going to relax. We have 4 days left until school is out. Okay, I can say 4 days now. And y'all know we need a break. These kids have been running us crazy. But lo and behold, we will be back before you know it. But tonight, the first guest that we're going to have is none other than, her name is Deborah Hearns Cole, but she goes by Queen Cole. I love that name. Okay, she's going to have to tell us where that queen came from. Hi, Miss Cole. How are you tonight?
Hi. Thank you for having me. I am doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Are you ready for Thanksgiving?
Every day is Thanksgiving. I'm really not a traditional kind of gal. I celebrate every day. So Thanksgiving, as I was telling my daughter, I'm here in South Carolina with my daughter. I have a new grandbaby. He's 4 months old. And so I've been here with them. And so she was saying she was going to go to Georgia for Thanksgiving. I was like, oh, fine. I'm just going to stay here. She was like, Mom, you don't need to be here by yourself. And I was like, every day is Thanksgiving. So I'm ready for holidays. I like to, sometimes just take time and relax. I don't always honor the Sabbath, but when I have a chance, I sit my butt down.
I know that's right. Oh, congratulations too. 4 months. Is that your only grandchild, or you have others?
Yes, my only and first grandbaby, a grandson.
Oh, he's going to be spoiled. Okay. You can spoil him and send him back.
Man, I love it. I wish this grandparent thing was first. Like, why does it come first? But yeah, I love it. He's great. I told my daughter, I said, I hate to say, like, a very easy baby. He'll trick you because, like, he just be chilling.
That's all they do. They just want something to eat and then they sleep. That's all. Must be the life. So let's jump into this, because I am so ready to hear about your book. So you were a contributing author to an anthology, because I'm learning all this and I'm seeing this more often now, where various authors come together and compile a book. Is that correct?
That is correct. Forged by Fire, Built God Tough is an anthology with 21 women. This is an all woman anthology. So that was attractive to me because I thought, especially us in numbers and to break the stereotypes that women can't do things together. Like we can do this and we're going to be international bestsellers. And when we all got together, I mean, our Zoom meetings alone were deliverance services. They were just awesome and powerful before the book even was in print. Just us meeting each other, telling our stories, but then also telling our fears about telling our story to the world. So it was just an awesome experience. I would definitely do it again. And I actually recommend it to anybody that's looking to become an author. So that way you can get your feet wet to see, the ins and out, what it has to entail with it. So yeah.
And we were talking about this earlier. And y'all, let me just say this. Queen Cole and LaToya Nicole have already met prior to this, not in person. And now we're all together and we're not in person, but they're able to see each other. So I just looked at that as divine connections. But just hearing you say how women can come together and do things like that. It really had not occurred to me until recently that I'm seeing more of these types of books. And so I want to read, I love how the description that you said, Forged by Fire, Built God Tough is an all-female testament that illuminates the refining process. These 21 courageous women have been tried and tested through virtually unconquerable circumstances. I had to slow that word down, unconquerable, but have emerged powerful, unrelenting, refined, and are sharing their stories as testimonies to the miraculous power of God. Woo! That description in itself shows, and I thought about fire, how something so beautiful. And I think you kind of touched on this in one of your podcasts. And I was like, man, that's a good point. But fire, even right now, people with fireplaces, something that can be so beautiful and provide warmth can also be dangerous and can also provide pain. And so I want you to tell us a little bit about what prompted you, because your chapter in that book is called Ring of Fire. So tell us a little bit about why you chose that title, and then what is your chapter about?
Yes. Ooh, when you just read that description, even every time I read the description, and it's not new to me, I've said it, I've read it, I still get goosebumps. I still get like, woo, because it was so much. Just the title of the anthology alone, Forged by Fire, Built God Tough. That's what attracted me initially. I'm like, you know what? That is so true, because when you think about fire, like firemen, they rush into fire to help, when everybody else in the house are running out to get away from the fire. So I was like, how can I tell this story about a situation that I went through when I was married? And when I thought about it, I was like, wedding ring, but I was like, the ring of fire. So when I talk about the ring of fire, I'm talking about the wedding ring, how a circle is, it's going around continuously. So I just thought ring of fire, like, even when you see like a ring master in the circus, that ring is continually going around. And sometimes they light the fire and you like, man, how are they gonna be able to get out? And that's what I wanted people to think about. Like, how can she get out of this ring of fire? So that's where I landed with that. I just was like thinking about the circle of the wedding ring.
And you know what? I know we're going to get into more with the different events, but I'm going to say this to bring a little humor to this. When I listened to the audio part of this, it was a couple of scenes that came to mind. Okay. One part made me think about Diary of a Mad Black Woman. It was a scene, and you probably know which scene. And then another one was What's Love Got to Do with It at the end. And it was like the way you told, although it's a true story, I love the verbiage and the tone on your audiobook where you had like a fictional tone to it, but it's all real life. Because even before you even said that, that you told it that way, I was thinking to myself, is this real? Like, is it a true story? And this is your real story. Oh my goodness. So tell us a little bit, give us a brief synopsis of what Ring of Fire is about.
It's about a situation that I had when I was married. That was a very tense, high energy situation, and it was so almost a combination of things. And with the audio, I go a little bit deeper. With the podcast portion of it, it's about 30 minutes. Discussing that, sort of giving more context to it, because as I was writing this, we had only 1,500 words that you can use, and I said it, I wrote it out, and it was 1,800 words. So I had to chop out a lot of stuff. So I'm like, how do I get to the point, but then still draw this picture? So some things that I couldn't remember, I sort of added a little extra. And then with the audio part, I'm an audio listener. And before I even purchase an audio book, I want to hear a sample of the narrator. So I said, what, I got to make this very theatrical. I have to use inflection in my voice. So I wanted to capture you in that moment. I wanted you to be in that moment and be like, whoa.
And that's what happened too, because I was like, ooh, like it really drew me in. But at the same time, because I tell the students, you have to have a picture in your mind, whether you're reading or whether you are listening to a story. There should be some type of picture going across your brain, not just words, but you could literally, the words that you use, you could literally see what was happening.
Yeah, and a lot of feedback that I have gotten previously is that I was in the alley with you. At that moment, I didn't know which way you were going to go. I didn't know what were you going to do. And they were just hanging on the words. And that really made me happy. But then to fast forward the story, I tell about a time that I pretty much was doing and saying things that were not of God. And I had to really come through the fire to be able to get back to my first love, which is God. And then I share 3 points for people to use if they're ever backed up in a situation where they have lost that love and zeal for God, to be able to get back to it. So it's a tragedy, but then on the other side of the fire is where it all comes together, is really the 3 points, how the Lord really sustained me and took me through this crazy scenario of a night, but also kept me mentally and physically well, so that way I could get this out to the world. And I just wanted to be able to tell people, because sometimes you see people, you say, hey, oh, Queen Cole got it on. She's over here in my Dallas life. She over here doing this. She's over here doing that. But then sometimes behind closed doors, we have no idea what people are actually going through. People, go through the depression. People have suicidal thoughts, and you would never know because of the mask that we wear out. How are you? I'm blessed and highly favored. Okay, well, how are you really? Like, how are you feeling right now? Like, I want to commit suicide, And so for me to put that out into the world, just saying that, it's really to help somebody else, because somebody else has that mask on. Is like, you know what? I got to keep doing this. I got to keep putting on this facade. But I just wanted to be able to take that mask off and say, hey, I'm real. I have feelings. I am not a superwoman. I do super things, but I am not a superwoman. And that, this situation I was able to get through, but to God be the glory for it.
Okay, so one part on here I remember you saying was, when you want death more than life, something is dreadfully wrong. So let's go back a little. So how, because I found these couple of facts very interesting. So how old were you when you got married?
I got married, I was 18 years old.
Wow. And so then how long were you all married before you got divorced?
I was married for 17 years.
Wow. I'm just like, man, the way you talk about that.
Here's the thing. So to give context to all this, May 1997, I graduated high school. I was 17 years old. July 1997, we had our first child. November 1997, I got married. So I was used to swift transitions. I was going from high school student to mom to wife to being married. And then November 1998, I had our second child. So I was used to swift transitions, but as things started to progress in our marriage. As I started to mature, there were some disconnects that we had, which brought us to this time in this book.
So so based off of the book, it got abusive in the relationship as well. Okay, so during that time, after that, was there going through the process, okay, of divorce and so forth? Because there may be someone on here that is going through divorce or that has gone through a divorce. What were some things that helped you through that process? Because that can be, I've heard some people describe divorce as like a death, because it's only sometimes that you're already becoming one and you're being ripped apart. So what were some things that helped you through the process?
Two quick things. One, taking off the mask and being okay with that, being who you are authentically and unapologetically, not worrying about being the perfect wife or being the perfect spouse to other people's eyes. Stop the facade. We're all a hot mess. It's just some people know how to put it together
Come on,
and not.
preach.
And some people, we have these different masks that we wear. We got our church mask, we got our work mask, all that, because we don't want people to know who we really are or what we're really going through. So one, if you're going through divorce, it's okay to take off that mask and be who you are. Two, once you do that, you need to know who you are for real. I used to just love when people used to say, this is such and such wife. This is Jada's mom. This is CJ's mom. I didn't even have a name. I was just going by that and I was just loving it. And I get to my mom's house. I was at my parents' house for a year after my marriage and after my divorce, Jesus Christ, after my divorce. And there was a time my mom said, what do you want to eat? I had no answer. I did not know because I was used to making such and such food, steak very well done, almost burnt. I know how Jada likes her steak. I know how CJ likes his steak. I had no clue what I wanted for dinner. So that was the second thing that I had to do, is just really know who I was and what I liked. So I took a year off. I was with my parents at their house, just rebuilding myself, knowing who I am, knowing what I like, dating myself, to be able to get back out there, because for 17 years, most of my adult life, I was married. So I had no clue about ghosting and, 40-year-old guys talking about, I don't talk on the phone. I only like the text. I'm like, what? So I had to reacclimate myself and to really establish. And that's where the whole Queen Cole was born, because I'm like, I am a queen. I want to be held to a higher standard. So I'm like, hey, I'm Queen Cole. And that's where it came from.
I love it, Queen. Okay, so it was another analogy, and I love this, of how you described the process that you were going through and your situation to the three Hebrew boys. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Now we all know this story. But you got to think about it. Actually being pushed through a fire. Just say if you were watching a fire, because fire is so beautiful. You fireside, we just warming up, we feeling good. But when all those embers jump off, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. So when I think about really the scenario about them being bound, first of all, that's one thing, they were bound, and then put in there. So I had to think about, like, man, I was bound by several things in this ring of fire, in this marriage. I was bound by, our prestige, our status. I didn't want to let that go. That had me bound. I didn't want to be a failure. I'm the first one to get divorced. In my brain, you ain't the first person to get divorced, girl. I was wearing my ring for a whole year after, because I don't want people to ask me questions or to recognize that I'm not married. There was a doctor's form I'm writing, getting myself reestablished, and it said married or single. I broke down crying. I'm like, there's no divorce here. I'm divorced.
Oh,
No, you're single, girl. So it was really, that analogy really made me just think about the things that had me bound. I was so stuck on several things that just the Lord had to burn that off and set me free. He had said, girl, you about to get in this fire, but I'm about to get you out, and you will not be bound when you come out. You will not smell like smoke. You will not look like what you've been through. So I had to just use that, because it's just so powerful for me to think about just being immersed into a fire. And whenever we're in hot, tight situations, that's what I think about, is them.
Woo, that is powerful. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, y'all. When I heard that, that really, really ministered to me, because sometimes we're in something and we don't see a way out. And if I was thinking about this movie that I saw, and they were a ring of fire was around the two people fighting. And if you think about it, you look like you're trapped on the inside, but at any moment you could really just jump over that little ring of fire without even getting burned. Okay.
That's
But in
it.
our
That's
minds,
it.
we feel trapped, like this is enclosing me and I can't get out. And so that was very powerful. Okay. So if someone wanted to purchase your book, how could they do that? And I'll show some of that information on the screen right now too.
Okay, yes. If anybody wants to purchase my book, they can go to any social media platforms. Follow me at One Queen Cole. My link is in the bio on Instagram and also on Facebook. Also on LinkedIn, you can find me there, Queen Cole, and you can just go to payhip.com/Queen Cole, or you can direct message me and I'll get that information right over to you. But it's on all social media platforms. The link is in the bio for you to go directly to the link and to be able to purchase Forged by Fire, Built God Tough.
Yay. Thank you so much, Queen Cole. Oh my goodness, y'all. Give her a hand clap. I know you can't hear all of those hand claps out there, but we are imagining millions are going to see this.
Yes, they are. And I just appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having this platform for authors and for small business owners to be able to come and showcase. Thank you for sharing your platform with everyone. And I have to send a special thank you to Angela Cherie, my girl, my home girl from the deep, that referred me to you. I love her and I love you. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much. I mean, when I tell you, y'all, I feel like we were connected anyways. Like, y'all are so sweet and just on fire for God. And this is like an honor. Like I tell everyone, I look for ways to sow into other people because what we make happen for others, God makes happen for us. Yeah. And long as He get the glory out of everything that I do, I'm fine with it. So thank you so much for being a part tonight.
Amen. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, y'all, we're moving along. We have another special guest tonight, none other than Miss LaToya Nicole. I have to say her name like that, y'all. How are you tonight?
Hi, gorgeous. I am doing well. Thank you so much for having me. I said this about Queen Cole. Y'all make it so easy. Like I'm not, no, the nerves are gone. Trying to like, oh my God, what are they gonna ask me? What am I gonna do? All that stuff. Y'all just got a sister relaxed, and I love it. Okay.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And she made me relax too. Cause y'all wouldn't believe I get nervous too. I try to like move it along though, but I get nervous too. But thank y'all for just being such wonderful women and just really, really genuine. So LaToya Nicole, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, tell you about LaToya Nicole. Well, I am a 3 times best-selling author. I am an organizational coach. So anything that's chaotic in your life, I can fix your life for you.
Can you know what? Can I say something about that? Okay,
Yeah,
so y'all, she has a group called Coaches Connect, right? It's a Facebook group. Okay, and so when I saw that, because I'm an instructional support specialist, instructional coach, I was like, oh, so it's a page for coaches, not realizing she's an actual life coach, organizational coach. And so I was like, you know what? This school year, I'm probably trying to help plenty of teachers get their whole life together so she can help me help them.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Most definitely. Oh no, that's fine. But yes, I'm best-selling author. I'm an organizational coach. So anything when you talk about chaos, that's anything out of order. I'll help you, get some order so that's mentally, physically, emotionally in your business. And now with your manuscripts, yes. I know people think like, how do you help someone organize a manuscript? Well, because sometimes we write all over the place. So I'm going to help bring some order to it and make sure it has a flow, because when things are not easy to read, people tend not to read them. So yeah, I'll definitely help you with that. I am a mother of a teenage entrepreneur, Kayla LaTavia. She's a baker as well here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I got some things going on, but that's me in a nutshell. And I'm an introvert, by the way. Yeah. Just
You
want
and
to throw
me
that
both.
out there.
Look, this is up my alley. I think this made me more introverted when we had the pandemic because I love to be inside. I
Me
do
too.
not have to talk to a lot of people. Now, talking like this on the computer, helps me. But getting back out, I was like, man, I have the people again. It was kind of hard.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
So, what made you want to become a coach?
Well, because I went through a lot in my life, in my childhood, and I was the person who would take disappointments and internalize them to the point that I couldn't go further, because my mind would always take me back to the previous disappointment. And when I started going to counseling, because I have a therapist, and when I got a coach, once you start healing, you really start learning yourself. Like, oh, wait, I like that. I do this, I do that. So I didn't even realize until I started healing that I've kind of always helped people anyway, in a sense. So when I put those two things together, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just go ahead and make a business out of this and help people to overcome the things that I've overcome through the use of those holistic modalities that my coach and my therapist use.
So,
So
you mean to,
basically becoming who I needed, and
yeah,
to
and,
sum it
and
up.
you said something very powerful. So, you mean to tell me the coach has a therapist and a coach?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I need help too.
And you know what?
I need help too.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of people will come to, I guess, in their mind and think to themselves, okay, who's she to come and help me? Like, is your life together? Because that's what we think about first. How are you able to help me? Do you have it all together? But just to hear that even you're getting help shows that it's okay.
Yes, absolutely. And I do know people have that mindset that, how is this person going to help me? Is their life perfect? Well, we strive for perfection every day. And, when you really study the word perfection, it just mean maturing. You're
Right.
maturing. So
Like
when
that.
it comes to healing, that's not something you're gonna wave a magic wand and poof, you're gonna be whole. Doesn't work that way. If it took you 30 years to pack the trauma, it's gonna take you a while to unpack it. So if I'm doing the work and I'm accountable and I'm unpacking, of course, those things that I've unpacked, I can then help you. So yeah, people
Wow.
do have that mindset.
I
They do.
love that. I really do. I've never heard that before.
Mhm.
So hearing that really, really helps. So when you're giving advice or want someone is actually looking for a coach, what type of advice would you give them as far as like the fit and so forth?
When looking for a coach, I know a lot of the times we have multiple areas that we need help in. So the first thing you want to do is figure out what area you feel like you need the most help in, and then strategically focus on a coach that is an expert in that area. Yeah, you may like this person, but that person may not be a mindset coach. So you don't need to go to a relationship coach because you like her when she's not going to help you with your mindset. You need to go to a mindset coach. So that's the first thing. Be strategic about the type of coach that you need at that hour. And then the greatest piece of advice that I can tell anyone: we cannot help what you fail to be honest about.
Ooh, say
We
that again. Oh my
just
goodness.
can't. We if you
Wow.
fail to be honest, we can't help. I mean, how exactly are we going to help you? Because how can I get my game plan going if I don't really know what's going on? If you're pretending, so a lot of the times, come to a coach Coaches are not judgmental. If you've met one, I apologize. They're not judgmental people. They've been probably where you are and they've overcome it. So the best thing to do is just to be open and honest about what you're dealing with. Because sometimes the coach that you have, it may not be able to help you entirely. You may have to couple that with a therapist. Because I know for myself, some people come to me with pains that I can't touch as a coach. And I am a personal development counselor. I'm a belief therapist, but I can't touch some of that stuff. So I would give them a resource for therapy, and then we'll work together, because the therapist is going to have to help you to get to the origin of some roots that the axe has to be laid to before you can be future focused on with a coach.
Ooh, you just said a whole lot. I just want, oh, okay. So a whole lot, man. So touching on, because I'm trying to think of where I want to go with that. Thinking about, okay, I like that you said different coaches, because sometimes that could be if someone has tried it and it didn't work, maybe they weren't specialized in that particular type of issue. And then you also said something, I believe we had guests on, what day was that? Saturday, Nicole R. Dudley, and she was also talking about the heal part. And I'm like hearing a common thread about being healed, because sometimes we're experiencing symptoms of things, but not really the root of the problem. And like you said, until we get and become honest with ourselves, and it's some things I'm even dealing with, then I'm like, Lord, what is the root of it? Because I really want to get to the root of the situation, because if we find ourselves going through things in cycles and it's like over and over, obviously God is trying to deliver us and heal us from that, but we have to allow him to help us get to the root. And sometimes having a coach will bring that out, because I've had therapy before. It is nothing like talking to someone who is neutral. They're not really there to judge, but to really, really hear you and not take sides and so forth. So I really, really enjoyed that. What's the name of your company, your coaching company?
It's S.O.L.O Coaching and Consulting LLC. The S.O.L.O stands for Soul Organization for Lifelong Overcoming. Because we have to declutter those souls, baby. We some of us walking around here with emotions that we felt at 7 years old that we still feel every time something happens that reminds us of what happened at 7. And that is why a lot of us have not begun to live the life by design that God has created for us to live, because we're still stuck at 7-year-old us.
You're going to make me throw this computer. Oh my goodness. I never thought about that. So it's almost like getting to the child side of some things that probably have gone on that we've carried as baggage going forward in life. And you even touched on, y'all, she's an author. I told her earlier, how do you do it? Okay, because it seems like she's doing everything. She's a blogger, she's has her own business, and she's also an author. So tell us first, why did you become an author? Because you're doing a lot.
Thank you. I love now writing. Well, between writing and organization, both of those are my first love. So I can't really even pick which one I love the most. But writing, that was something I did. I can't remember how old I was when I started. I kept a diary. Back then we called them diaries, because I used to feel so much pain about different stuff at a young age. And that helped me so much. I mean, I went through stuff at school that my family, they know nothing about. I mean, my family, until they read maybe the book that I'm writing now, Alone in the Dark, I'm writing one now. My family, I don't think they even know that I was bullied by a teacher in second grade that humiliated me in front of everybody. So that's going to be new to them. I don't even think I don't, I think I may have mentioned it to an aunt, but I was in my 30s when I talked about that again. And that happened when I was in second grade. So this is how we just carry trauma. It just grows up with us. And if I never would have talked about that, then I would have kept passing that down in the generations to my children and my children's children. So healing is very important, and writing is one of the holistic ways that I learned how to process the pain because energy, emotions are energy in motion. So when I feel something, I have to get it out on paper. That was my way of unpacking. And I've been doing that since I was young. So when I write a blog, I'm unpacking. When I write my books, I'm unpacking because, like I said, healing is continual.
Oh my goodness, I love that. I was sharing the other night that my mom, she wrote in journals, and she passed away about 4 years ago, but she left like 2 boxes of journals that she and I could, I mean, reading her words, it's almost like she knew that one day I would read those, but you could hear the pain some days, you could hear the happiness and different things. So it is therapeutic, and it does help bring out some things that sometimes you just have to write it out first. It's easier, I think, to write it out. And I'm speaking of writing, I want to show our audience something. So, y'all, she sent just a whole beautiful, and I must say, from the emails to the books, the packaging, she does things with excellence. And it says a lot about your character. It says a lot about your business just from doing things. She made me feel important, y'all. I was like, wait a minute. She's sending me a media kit. Am I media? Y'all forgive me. It's just I love to have fun. But she has a book, and I'm going to show it on the screen in a second. But I wanted to hold them up. But this is the book called The Coaches Connect. But this other one here is an actual journal. Okay, if you can see that. And so on the inside, she has questions, and you can write like what areas of your life are you unhappy about? So you can't lie, okay, in this journal because it's asking you questions and you need to be honest. And it was one in here. Oh, forgive someone who hurt you by writing them an unsent letter. Y'all, that's powerful, okay? And there's space to write it because there are some people holding in unforgiveness that having something like this, just getting it out, the anger and all of that out on paper, you're first starting there, being honest. So this is powerful. Also, she has one called Single Mom. She was a contributing author on this one. And I want to read this little portion. If you don't mind, can I read this little portion we talked about on Facebook? It said, okay, she's referring to her daughter. I desired more for her. I did not want her to feel the level of pain I did. So I worked myself into an emotional oblivion, trying to protect her. That mindset, I want more for my child than I had, can be damaging if everything we do for them is from a fragmented mental space. Woo!
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? That was powerful. That was
Yeah.
powerful.
I feel like I want to cry when you read that.
Woo!
Yes, I was the mother that I wanted to protect my daughter from everything that I had experienced that sent me spiraling emotionally. I was that mother, including the people that played a part in it. I wanted so much more for her because I felt like I had been broken and damaged so much that I wasn't going to amount to anything. So I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like I want to cry. So
It's okay. We're the open book. You can let it out.
I wanted to pour everything into her because I didn't feel like I could do it. I didn't feel like I was going to be able to. And when I started going to therapy and I started healing, that all backfired because the mistake I made was I had no balance. It was all about her. So I put myself on the back burner. I desired things, but I didn't worry about it because I'm like, this is my daughter's time now because I'm older. I've been hurt. There's nothing left for me. So there was no balance. So everything I did it because I was hurt, not because I was a whole mother raising a daughter. I was a broken child, inner child, bonding with my child. So when I started healing and I started maturing, things changed for me and I wanted to live my life. I wanted to date. I wanted to open my business. I wanted to write my books. And how it backfired was emotionally, it sent my daughter spiraling the same way things sent me spiraling. So she ended up depressed, and I became the target because now I'm the horrible person, I'm the horrible mother because I'm choosing me for once. And what made it worse was she had an army of people with her to make sure they brought me down. And I think when I was going through all of that, that's what hurt the most. I mean, it went as far as family members telling her not to go to her therapy sessions that I had signed her up for. It was that bad. So when I say we do all these different things from our for our children, and we make these statements about my children not gonna lack anything, I'm gonna do this, that, and the other, I die for mine and all that. I mean, all that's cool. But for me, that was coming from a broken place. Because when we are healed, when we're healing, we think logically. Giving our child everything is not logical thinking. That's trauma thinking. So that's what I meant when I wrote that part in that book.
And I must be honest, you had me like really thinking when I read that part. Because there are times where I have to, check myself. Why am I trying to do this? Is it, like you said, was it because I didn't get it? Or what am I getting out of that? Because you don't necessarily have to be a single mom to feel that. You could be a married mom. Are we trying to live through our children? That's unhealthy, because there were some things we may not have gotten, or opportunities, and now we're like, oh, I'm going to groom them to do what I wanted to do. And then that could be unhealthy. And so we just have to check that so that it doesn't have that trauma going down to them as well. But that was powerful. It really had me thinking. And then even in your other book, she was a contributing author in this. Y'all, told you she's busy. Okay. In spite of it all. And there was one part, just this one line on here too, that stood out. And this almost goes back to Saturday, where it says, just let your heart break. That was the beginning of my journey to wholeness. And y'all, when I tell you that heartbreak, even from the death of my mom, okay, it was only so far, and I'm trying not to cry. It was only so far that I would allow myself to go. And I think I've heard this before, where people say, one of the grief counselors that I saw on Facebook one day, where she said, you have to just feel that pain. You have to allow yourself to feel it. And one day I think I did just cry and just had to, go through that, because my mom passed away 4 days after I had my son. So I really feel like my life just continued. I didn't have like an amount of time to grieve, because I had a whole life, a whole family that I had to pick up the pieces and keep going. And so it was only so far I would allow myself to go. So you saying that, and then Saturday I'm hearing that, y'all, I believe God is just trying to show us this is a season of healing. Like, we have had some authors on here just really, really sharing with us things about healing. And now we have LaToya Nicole here, who is a life coach that will help you get your life together. That should be your little slogan. I'm playing. Get your life together. I'm playing. But I mean, God sends us people that will bless us, that will come alongside of us to cheer us on, to help us in those trying times. And so I wanted to share with you all some of her information, how you can get in contact. So would you like to talk about that? What are some services you're offering, and how they can order your books and so forth?
Okay, well, of course, if you follow me on social media, like on Facebook, I'm LaToya Nicole, that's my name. Of course, you can inbox me, and I can get you the link to order a book from me. It'll be autographed if you order from me. Another way is on my Instagram. S.O.L.O coaching is one of them. I am LaToya Nicole _ is the other one. But as far as my business, I offer, of course, anything organization. So if you need organization mentally, working through those things that's in that subconscious, like the things that I had to work through, and I wrote a little bit about of it in the book, In Spite of It All, because I battled with bouts of depression. So if you need that, if you need emotionally. Remember, I talked about how we don't allow ourselves to feel anything. So the emotions, we're just packing it like a suitcase. We're going on vacation that we never go on. We just got the suitcase in the corner somewhere. So I can help you unpack that. I can help you organize your business. If you are a business owner and you have children and you have all this stuff going on and everything is chaotic, I can help you bring order to that. If you are writing a book and you want someone to structurally edit it, developmental editing is what they call it. I can assist you in organizing your words to make sure everything is flowing and it's easy to read. I create action plans. If you have a goal in mind, but you're not quite aware of how to go about doing it, you tell me the goal and we can sign some papers because I promise you I'm not going to tell anybody. And I will create you an action plan that will serve as your roadmap to get you from goal to accomplished. So those are a little of the things that I do at solo coaching. I mean, it just depends. I do consultation. So if you want to bounce ideas around, I provide that service. Journal therapy, because I don't talk about this much, but I am a certified journal therapist. Yeah. So if you just want someone to create a month's worth of journal prompts based on specific need that you have, a specific event that you want to process, I can help you with that too. So that's just a little, a little bit of what I do. If you want to, you can go to bit.ly/instantly read, and you'll go directly to my bookstore on my website.
And are you able to put that in the comments for us, Facebook, in case someone sees that as well
Sure.
as in the chat? Y'all,
Yeah,
I
I can.
told you she does a lot. Okay. Now, I do have a quick question in regards to it. Y'all, I just followed you and Queen Cole on Instagram. I wanted to do it right now before I forget. But say, for example, my mom's journals, is that a service that you would offer if I wanted to turn some of her journals into a book? Like, do you do things like
Absolutely.
that?
I do literary coaching too. That's like the new thing that I'm doing now. I'm
Okay.
helping people to write their books, and I'll also kind of direct you in the self-publishing route as
Okay.
well, give you the steps to take. But yes, we can definitely take those journals and turn it into a book. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Y'all, I'm telling you, a divine connection, y'all. And I am
Yes.
so happy that she came to the open book.
Yeah, I'm so
I'm
happy. I'm so
so
happy to be here
happy.
too.
Thank you. Okay, so do you ladies have any final words that you would like to share with our audience tonight as we close?
My favorite line that I always say is that you owe it to yourself to become everything you've ever desired. Although I was that person raising a child thinking that was it for me, healing gave me a new set of lenses because I no longer looked at myself through the lens of the people who didn't do anything with their lives. So they sowed those seeds in mine to make me feel like I wasn't going to either. So once I started healing, I got a fresh set of glasses. Let me just say that because I actually wear glasses, by the way. I got a fresh set of glasses and I was able to see me, and I was able to start to believe in me and the gifts that's within me. And although I went through a phase where I felt like they were small, like, oh, those are not significant things. Oh, anybody can organize. I found out not everybody is organized. So, whatever you do, you can do it well. Just go forth because you owe it to yourself to become everything you desire.
I love that. Oh, that's beautiful. Queen Cole, do you have something?
Yeah, one last thing. I just want everybody to be encouraged to share your story, because the reason why you made it out is to help somebody else. Somebody else is actually going through this. We're usually in three phases. We're either coming out of a storm, going into a storm, or we're actually in a storm. So don't be afraid to share your story. Of course, use discretion, use discernment, because everybody can't handle your story. But when you are led to tell your story and to share your story, it is going to absolutely help somebody else, because that's the reason why the Lord brought you out of it, because it wasn't your own strength. I could not have made it out of this situation without the Lord. And he wants to get all the glory and all the honor and all the praise. So make sure that you share your story and don't be afraid of sharing it.
Woo, that is powerful. Y'all have to give them some snaps, okay? Pray that you all have been blessed tonight, because when I tell you I have been blessed, I was a little sleepy, it's been a long day, but when I tell you, when God shows up, you get this boost like of energy out of nowhere. And I just felt that through you ladies just really sharing with us your stories and things that we can find in your books and so forth. Thank you so much for being a blessing. And also, last but not least, the holiday season is coming up. And if you do not want to do your baking, and I know you say your daughter bakes, LaToya Nicole, I do too, but only certain things, okay? I am not that type of baker. But if you do not feel like cooking or baking your cakes, Mrs. Mabry's Unique Desserts is here to help you. And I am taking orders for the holidays, so you can feel free to inbox me or send an email to the email listed below. We have 7-Up pound cake, lemon cake, strawberry lemon, pineapple, and sweet potato pound. And yes, I do ship cakes. If you stay in another state, it will arrive to you nice and fresh. So don't hesitate to call me or inbox me or email me, okay? I had to do my commercial to y'all. But when I tell you thank you, this has been an awesome night. We hope that you all had a great time tonight. Shout out to the Facebook audience. Y'all were on it tonight. I saw the comments. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, YouTube, and our Instagram audience. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we will see you this upcoming Friday for day 4 of 12 days of books and businesses. So I hope you all have a great evening. Good night.